Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. I have been very inspired by a project I saw Bella from RachandBella Crafts do as part of the Christmas Craft Off 24. It's running all through November, and I thought I would jump in and do this project while it was fresh in my memory. But you know how things go, and it's not exactly like Bella's project, so it's definitely absolutely taking inspiration from what Bella did. I will link that video below in the description box, so if you haven't seen it, you can pop along and see what she made. She made two things, both tag based because her prompt was to do with tags. One was a little tab bound tag booklet. So the front and back covers were hinged together, and then there was like a signature of tags in the middle. The other one was a bunch of tags that were on a ring. I don't have any rings available, and so I was going to do the tab bound tag booklet, journal, whatever you want to call it. And then kind of things went a little off track from what she did, and I came up with a different idea. So what I've made is a little tag, let me try and work out how to say this, tab bound concertina tag booklet. That's a real mouthful, isn't it? So it's, first of all, tab bound. So we've got fabric tabs to hinge the tags together. Each tag has a pocket, as as in Bella had done. Each tag had a little pocket, and then I've made it into a concertina. So we've got pocket, back of the tag, pocket, then it flips open, back of the tag, pocket, and then back around to the front. So like that. See that? I was going to do 4, and I've decided on 3 because by the time we add tags into these wee pockets, you know, it's going to be fairly thick, and I do want it to fit inside a journal. So I think 3 is sufficient. I've already started, obviously this one is ready for decorating, like it's pretty much complete apart from decorating. I've got 2 ready to go for the next one. So I'm going to show you how I got to this stage. So sheet of paper. Now you can use the digital like I'm using. This is Nostalgic Noel from RachandBella Crafts. It doesn't have to be Christmas themed. You could make it whatever theme you like. It is not a theme specific project. Like, it doesn't just work with Christmas. It can work with any theme you are doing or will do or want to do. You know, so don't be put off by the fact that I'm using Christmas paper. If you are not a Christmas person or don't do Christmas journals, whatever, just use what you like. You could even use magazine paper, scrapbook paper. I wouldn't go too thick on the scrapbook paper. I'd keep it on the lighter scale because these things are layered up. Just grabbing out my craft knife. So all I did is I want to create 2 tags from a single sheet of paper. So I've just folded it in half, and then I'm going to cut on that fold line. It's just my quick and easy way to get 2 pieces that are pretty much the same size. So you do it your way. This is just how I'm doing it. Now I only actually need 1 of these, so I'm going to put this other part to the side. Right, now comes the folding. So we also, a note, I have used mostly non-directional paper just because it makes life easier. This paper here does actually have a direction because, like the candy canes, but I felt the design of it kind of didn't really matter. It could be any way round, and it wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, there's a bird flying sideways, you know, that kind of thing. So non-directional paper preferably, and I'm going to fold in about 1 centimetre. Doesn't have to be too precise, but you don't want to go too deep on this. This is just to reinforce that edge of the pocket. So that's going to be your pocket. So just to reinforce that edge. Then I like to take it, and hopefully this is in camera, and put it against my grid line here, and I like to fold it on the 12 centimeter line, and this is how I get them all about the same size. So if you have another method, you could score them. That would be another way. I'm just doing it this way because I found it was quite easy. So folded it 12 this way, and then from the other side folding it at 4 centimeters. So you work out your own dimensions, whether you're working in centimeters or inches, but that's just going to keep them all about the same size, which is what I want. Okay, I'm going to now glue down that little flap. That's our pocket reinforcement. So hopefully you're following along with me, maybe even making along with me. And while I'm on the subject of the Christmas Craft Off 24, who's following along with that? It's pretty exciting. There's already a wealth of ideas coming out, and it's just so inspiring. Whether you do Christmas or not, a lot of the ideas, probably most if not all, can be reinterpreted in whatever theme. Right, so now that we've done that, I am going to distress around this one. I did not distress around my prototype, and I wish I had have, but I was gluing before I thought, oh, I haven't inked. So just going to run around this, and I'm choosing Aged Mahogany, which is a beautiful deep reddy brown, and I feel it goes really nicely with Christmas. So we're only inking this one, and we'll be inking a bit where I make some cuts, but apart from that there won't be any other inking. So we can do this one, not get too worried about time spent inking. So this is, you will see the back, of course, so we need to ink both sides. Need to give my pad a good rub on the ink pad, get a bit more ink happening. That's better. Much better. Works so much better when you put enough ink on your sponge or applicator, whatever you're using. Just a wee tip from me. Right, so that's now at the same stage as these two. So they're all at the same stage. What I'm going to do now is take just my tacky glue, and I'm going to glue down these parts. So they will be nice and sturdy because there's layers of paper. So just around the edge is all I'm doing, and then on the inside corner I'm just kind of putting glue in that. Oh, I don't need to do it down the bottom, actually I only need to do it up the top there. Just glue it down. You will notice this is not straight, and that's okay. We can amend anything that needs amending. Right, and on this one, again just doing a little corner there of glue, but only at the top. So once you've put the glue at the top and those corners, you need to remember that that's the top, because that's where we're going to be cutting into a tag shape. So let's go ahead and do the rest. So 2 more to go. While I'm gluing, let's have a wee chat. How are you guys? Are you all well? I hope you are all well. I've actually got a little bit of a headache this morning. I just took some paracetamol just to try and get on top of it. I'm not quite sure why I've got a headache. I slept quite well last night, but there you go. Some things are random. So again, just that little triangles. And the theory being that when we chop the corners off, that it will still be glued together. One hopes. It doesn't always work that way, but it's a good start. Yeah, so I hope you are doing well and that you've got no pesky headaches or colds or what have you, but we live in the real world. I'm guessing that a proportion of viewers will have something. And I know a lot of you lovely people have long-term issues, and I really, really empathise with that because I've certainly had and still have some long-term issues. Life is fun, isn't it? Just a whole big ball game of things. Not all good things, but not all bad things either. And where would we be without craft? Isn't it a lifesaver? I think so. It's my lifesaver anyway. If I couldn't craft, I think I would just prefer to die. To be honest, and not being flippant, I am actually perfectly honest. If I couldn't craft or do anything creative, I would literally wither up and die because it's me. I am creative and I have to be creative. Otherwise, I get very unhappy. Right, so we've now got our 3 pieces glued together. Which one did I glue first? This one? Did I glue this one first? I don't remember. Anyway, we'll start with this one. So I'm just going to take an angle off for my corner, flip it over, line it up in the opposite corner. So you need to flip your little piece that you cut over, you need to cut off, you need to flip it over so that it lines up to create the same shape. Just for anyone new, if you're not sure how to do that. Okay, I'm going to throw both of those away, and now I'm going to just line up. This one is slightly taller, this piece. Going to get it straight. So I'm just going to actually snip the corners first, and then I'm just going to trim that down to be the same height. So get rid of those bits, and then to this one, and this one's the right height, so just take off those corners. So we've now got 3 tag shapes with pockets, all the same size. And that bit that didn't line up at the bottom, it was on the inside, so it's hidden. Doesn't matter. Now I'm just going to check that those corners are glued together. It's the one with the pocket on the side. Sometimes I don't get all the way down. So just a little bit there. And a little bit, oh, this one's open a bit more. Obviously didn't put as much glue in there. I err on the light side because I don't want to glue too far into the pocket. And with a lovely fine nozzle on your glue bottle, you can get in there afterwards. So just gluing those up. And this one should be fine because I put a lot more glue on that corner. Oh, we do have a slight little overhang at the bottom here, so let's just trim that off. Okay, so just going to come in here and ink those raw edges that I trimmed off, and because I trimmed a bit off the top, do that top bit as well. And there we are done with the inking. Okay, now we need hinges for these, and I like to hinge them so the first one, pocket up this way, the next one, the pocket goes face down, and you can put them either way. Decide which way you want them before you make it the tag shape, because if you want the pocket on the other side, then you would need to flip it round the other way, but then our shape would be wrong. So choose which way you want your pockets previously. Am I making sense? Not a lot. Make sure you choose which way you want your pockets to go before you cut your tag shape. Okay, so I'm going to line them up here with a little gap, little bit of a gap there, not a lot, just a little gap. So pocket face up, pocket face down, pocket face up is how we're doing it. And I will line that one up later because I'll stick the fabric on first. So for the hinges, I have gone with this pretty green and white check or grid. It's like a grid really. Mine are 4 centimeters wide and around 11 centimeters, I think, tall. Yeah, 11. And it just happened to be that size because that was the width. If I put those two together, that was the width of my fabric. So I just kind of folded it in half and snipped it, and it worked out well. So that's my size. You can use whatever size you like. This is about 1.5 inches. I don't know inches how tall, but basically it needs to fit between the base and the dip of the angle for your tag. So it doesn't have to go all the way, just kind of something in there. Now for this one I used my fabric glue, and I've only just finished peeling my fingers for the glue. So I'm going to try with the tacky glue. I don't know whether it's a good idea, but we're going to go with it. So I just don't want to move those up now that I've lined them up. So hopefully I'm still on screen. Maybe if I kind of move up a little bit there, then you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm starting by gluing around the edges. Oops. Fabric glue is so much harder to peel off your fingers than tacky glue. And I've got a little splinter, whoops, little splinter that's causing me some pain. And trying to get the glue off where the splinter was kind of made my eyes water. It did. Silly thing. I got a huge splinter. It was massive yesterday, and I managed to pull it out okay because it was so big. And it didn't hurt. And I was like, wow, it's a big splinter and it doesn't hurt. Unlike the tiniest of little splinters that you get and like just are really painful. Right, so that moved a little bit. So just be aware of your tags moving while you're trying to glue on your fabric. And I didn't get that evenly across. It's okay. It'll be fine. Okay, that's that one. And now let's do this one. But when I took it out, I think I've left just there's a little black speck right at the tip of where it went in. And I think it's left a little bit behind. And it's now by evening, so I did it yesterday morning. By last evening it was getting red and sore. So yeah, I think it's reacting a little bit to a foreign body that's still inside there. But it must be tiny, like tiny little black speck of invading wood. But really I was surprised by the huge piece that went into my finger. You know, comparatively, compared to a normal splinter. It was like a round, whoops, sticking to my fingers, a round little blob sticking out of my skin. It was almost like a thorn. In fact, I kept it and showed it to hubby, and he thought it was a thorn, like a rose thorn, a small rose thorn. But no, it was off a bit of wood. So anyway, just all that to say, I wasn't so keen on trying to peel glue off my sore finger again. So I thought, well, if I go with the tacky glue, it's so much easier to peel off your fingers. And I think it's actually working quite well. I believe it will be sufficient hold for this. Okay, flip it over. It's now all nicely held together. And we're going to put fabric on the other side as well. It was just a bit cool inside yesterday morning, so I just grabbed some small bits out the woodshed, you know, just like bark and little kindling sort of size bits, and burnt those for the morning just to take the chill off the room. And it was a stunning day outside. It was so warm and beautiful, and it was my mum's birthday, so in the afternoon I went out on the deck and sat in the sunshine, and it was beautiful and toasty, and called my mum and wished her happy birthday and had a chat. So that was lovely. And I had Snuggles behind me as I was sitting on the deck, and she was washing and she kept banging against my back, which was quite funny and very distracting. But anyway, that was fine. Just missed a few corners, or a couple of corners there. Okay, right, last one coming up. I'm not even paying too much attention to what's the right side on the fabric. Doesn't matter. It will still look good. Oops. As long as I glue on the fabric. And today it's not going to be quite so warm. It's overcast. It is warm, but and it's warm inside. I'm quite okay just in my hoodie without the fire going. But occasional rain, and we've already had a bit of light rain this morning, but nothing much. Just a little spot here and there. I don't know if it will rain more or just continue being sporadic little odd showers here and there. But as long as it's warm, I don't mind. Although the weeds are going to grow, aren't they? Combination of warmth and rain. We excel here on our property. We excel in weeds. We don't excel with plants. We excel with weeds. We do have plants, but we just don't garden. So they fend for themselves. Even the roses, which I know I should prune every year in winter, I just don't get to it. So yeah, and they're doing really well this year actually. It's a really good rose season. Even the rose that's been awful for the last, I don't know, decade or more, is looking absolutely lush, beautiful red, deep red rose, and it's covered in blooms and it's glossy and healthy, which is very, very nice, and happens to be just outside the door to my left if I had the curtain open. Right, just resetting kind of here. There we go, just to make sure we're in frame. With a little sip of my coffee. Okay, so I think we'll be fine. I do like to take a bone folder, just kind of push it into that groove a little bit. It will buckle a little bit, the fabric, but I think it just adds to the texture and the look. Whoops, going a bit off kilter there. There we go. And so we've got a nice little fold up. Now I've actually folded that the wrong way. That's supposed to go that way and that way. There. So plain on the front, pocket, plain. When I say plain, I mean no pocket. Then pocket, plain, you know, and it just keeps going around. There is enough room with leaving that gap in between the pieces that if you didn't want to concertina it, you could do it this way instead and have it as a fold out. But I personally prefer the concertina. I just think it's a nice, unique little way to do it. Okay, so that is essentially the base. I've now got two, and it's time to decorate. So grabbing out the nostalgic Noel bits and pieces, fussy cuts, labels. Why have I got two containers of fussy cuts? That is weird. Why have I got two? I think I've done something funky when I put them away. from my collab video. I think they, yes, I did. They all belong in that container. This is, oh, that, and that goes there too. This is more the labels, tickets, faux stamps, that kind of thing. And then this one is, I can't remember because I haven't labelled them yet because my computer's still not back. This is kind of the small ephemera, like, you know, these lovely decorative bits, the circles, that type of thing. Sometimes the filing system is arbitrary and I've just got to choose which way I'm going to go with what type of item. Okay, I haven't done the tags. I'm not going to do those in this video, I don't think. I don't think we'll have time, but we'll see. So I want something nice and decorative on the front. Let's look at the fussy cuts. And I mean, Santa would be. He just makes me smile. So cute. I don't know, do people describe Santa as cute? I think he's cute. He's so happy and jolly. That blends in too much. Santa is definitely a contender for the front, but there's also snow globes, and I'm wondering about a lovely snow globe. Given that in New Zealand we don't have winter Christmases, but it's kind of very hard to not go winter with Christmas because everything, you know, a lot of what we get is that way themed when it comes to Christmas. Oh, they're cute too, but I feel like they blend in too much. There's a truck, too big. Santa with presents, he's quite cute too, but I don't think so. Gingerbread house. No, I think it's either the snow globe or Santa. It's going to be Santa. He just, combination of stands out and makes me happy. He makes me smile. I think I want some music. Layer up with some music. Oops. Oh gosh. Cannot tear straight for my life. Not that I want to tear it super straight, but yeah, that works better. I mean, putting the music down, anything would then pop up off the background, but I still like Santa. So let's glue on the music and get to decorating, because decorating is fun. What's your favorite part of making ephemera? Is it making the bases? Is it decorating the bases? Is it coming up with new ideas? Or is it mass making? Or is it the whole process, start to finish, that you enjoy? Now, vintage photo, or I think I'll stick with the aged mahogany. Just give him a little edge there. There we go. Yeah, I'll use glue stick. It's getting a bit sticky, so let's fold it in half. Keep Santa's face all nice and clean. You know, he's got a big day coming up. He needs to look his best, not be all dirtied and sullied before the big day. That. And how about some sort of label or ticket or something? Candy cane lane, it's quite cute. Or a wee faux stamp. Some of these are actually, I think, real stamps that have just been reproduced. They look real. I'm not sure if they are original stamps that are been scanned. quite like that. Oh, we've got some more fussy cuts hiding in this bin, but we're going to use one and we'll just pop the other one in the fussy cut bin. Okay, I'm liking that. Just a simple little arrangement. Again to the aged mahogany. I'm not going to do around the present though. Right, glue those on. Feeling like I need a word or something. I'm not sure what I've got word-wise. There may be some in the freebies, but I haven't been able to print the freebies off because my computer died. I can't see any in the container there. It's been a couple of weeks since I cut the kit out, so I'm kind of reacquainting myself with what's all in it, because I've been fussy cutting out Christmas digitals from 4 different digitals, so kind of getting a bit lost between what's in each kit until I play with it and it's like, oh yeah, that's got that and that's in that style or that colour. Just check this bin. Pretty sure there's not any in there, no. And none in the fussy cuts. Okay. Do I have something Christmassy? Actually, I have some stamps. Could just do like Merry and Bright, might be quite nice. I picked these stamps up secondhand, so if you look at the condition of them, don't blame me. It was before I got them. I had trouble opening the drawer because of the splinter in my finger. It was just causing me a little grief trying to open the drawer. Right. I think stamp it on a bit of paper. Sorry, just looking for a scrap of coffee dyed paper. I think that's upside down, but that's going to be the right size. And I might even go aged mahogany. Distress ink is not a great stamping ink, but I'm going to give it a go. I haven't used this stamp, so hopefully it takes the ink okay. Oh, it's not looking hopeful. Oh, but surprising. It's actually given it an interesting dotty kind of look. Just stamp off that. I'm going to go with it. It's far from perfect, but I actually quite like it. It's a little more subtle than if it's stamped perfectly. I just need to take that down even more. Or at the top, maybe at the top. I think I'll take those ends down a little bit. Doesn't feel straight to me. That'll do. Okay, give it a little matching ink border. Whoops. Yeah. So my plan to recreate what Bella made in her collaboration video, her first one. I think she's doing multiple, I believe. I'm not positive. I'll need to relook at the schedule, but yeah, my plan on recreating what she did kind of went down its own path. But again, I say totally inspired by Bella's project. If I hadn't seen what she did and got inspired by it, I would not be doing this project. So full on giving her props for inspiring me to do this. Just get rid of my scraps there into the rubbish. Okay, so that's the front. I think that is super cute. You can put tabs on them, not tabs, tag toppers. I kind of wasn't sure whether I was going to or not. I think I'm not going to on this one. Okay, so your tag goes in there. You could put something down here if you wanted. And I'm thinking maybe there's a little vertical something or other. Like here's another stamp. Maybe there. Just going to do some simple decorating on the inside. Not going to like go to town with layering or anything. I just adding simple little elements. Oops. Stuck to my glue page there, which tells me I need a new one. So just going to pop that down there. Right, this is the back, so I'm going to ignore that for a moment, come over to this one where the pocket is and look for another little something. How about a ticket? Maybe not. There's really cool book covers as well, which are fun. Just wondering whether we want to do a few book covers. Kind of something like that. Now for these I am going to use tacky glue because they're going over top of the fabric. So just to make sure that they stay where they're put. Let's do this one. Do I want to ink them? Just going to ink that. I had a little bit of white. I could have just trimmed it off, but it was quicker to grab the ink and just put a little ink on the white that was showing. So I'm just kind of cascading them down, if you like. Lots of fun things to play with in this kit. It is, I think, in total a series of 5 kits. So, you know, if you like the papers but not interested in the ephemera, then you can just buy the, I think there might be the journal pages and then 2 background kits of papers, and then there's I think 2 ephemera kits, or a fussy cut and an ephemera. So you can mix and match or choose what you want, or grab the whole lot. And they are currently 40% off on RachandBella.com on their website. So good time to grab them, and they're 40% off for the entire collaboration. So if you want to grab them during November. We could put it like a vertical word there as well. I don't know that I've got anything offhand, so I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so this is the back. So we've got this pocket here. So let's find something else. There's big tickets. Just feel it doesn't quite give the right look. Faux stamp. Oh, that's cute with the little bunnies. Oh, I like that. That's so sweet. It's a bit big. There's a number of these faux stamps, but I like the bunnies. I'm just going to go with the bunnies. And this one I will ink. Again, it's on top of fabric, so we're going to use the tacky glue. Cute, and I think we've done all the pockets now. Yes, so we have the center panel here, which you could decorate, but I would like to inject a little bit more writing space. We'll have writing space on the back of the tags, but I think writing space on the backs, so we'll have the front, which is decorated, then tag, writing space, tag, writing space is what I'm thinking. So I just need some probably coffee dyed paper. Oh, please excuse the squeaky chair back. This is a really grungy bit, but we could use a lighter side. So I'm going to eyeball this. Oops, that was not straight, but that's okay. That's what you get from eyeballing things. Okay, I just tried to correct it a little bit. Don't know if I succeeded. Okay. Some of that wonkiness won't be so obvious because we're going to take the top off. The and then I'm just going to kind of try and match the corners a little bit. Probably end up cutting them actually, because tearing a triangle is not so successful generally. So I've just got like those funky little bits that didn't tear, so I'll just snip those off. And then maybe I'll just cut this one. Okay, so you could put the paper on first and then put the fabric on top. Either way is fine. I think putting the paper on top just extends the writing space a little bit more. But depends which look you prefer. So if you want this under the fabric, then you'll need to do that, of course, before you put the hinges on. Nice press. Okay, and then this one, just check that I got the sizing right. Looks good. Which side? I think the lighter side out. Still plenty of pattern and interest on it. So I'm using a reasonable amount of glue just because it is going over top of fabric. Just make sure it nicely adheres. good press. Okay. So all that's left to do now are the tags. So it is going to be slightly bulky, especially by the time we put the tags in. If you don't put toppers on here, then you could put toppers on the tags that go inside here. But do bear in mind the thickness, that you might want to just keep it as thin as possible. So for the tags, we're running out of time, so I don't think I'm going to start. But we'll talk about what you might want to use. So you could use anything you like. You could use completely different papers from what you used here. You could use coffee dyed paper. Probably what I will do is a coffee dyed paper base, maybe with lines on, and then whatever pages from the kit, I'm thinking. So this time it doesn't matter about the direction of the paper, so something like this would be really lovely as a tag, wouldn't it? And our trees would all be up the right way. I'm kind of steering away from this tealy bluey colour with what I've chosen for my bases. I don't think I want that as part of it. I'm looking more for maybe this one, but more for the classic green and reds. The deer would be quite lovely. Actually, I might use the deer for one. Might as well grab them out now so I remember. Again, that's kind of the bluey tones in that one. Oh, that one's quite nice with the wee birds. Oh, they're all lovely, don't get me wrong, they're all lovely. I'm just looking at how the colours work together. And as a whole they work together, but I have avoided the blues in my bases. So therefore I want to avoid the blue tones in my tags. It's quite nice. Do we want to do, could do that one. I want the tags to all be different, so I need 3 different papers. And I've got my prototype as well that needs tags. So isn't that beautiful? Again, it's the bluey tones, but I absolutely adore that page. It's so pretty. Similarly, I have by and large avoided the pinks. There are also pinks in this kit. There's a bit of pink coming through, absolutely. No, I just folded that the wrong way. That goes that way. But I'm not wanting to accentuate the pinks, so I wouldn't go with something like this for this project. Just my choice. Like, you could, it would work. It's just my choice, my aesthetic that I'm going for, that I'm avoiding the pinks and that sort of minty green and that blue tone. I think this Christmas tree one, I think that will, yeah, those 3 will be nice. And so I'll do 2 tags out of each of those to do my 2 different books. So this one I haven't decorated, this one we've just decorated. And one will go in the journal that I'm making with this kit. The other one, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. It might just be in my idea book. Not that I have an idea book, but I should make one. Okay, guys, that is today's project for you. I hope you were inspired like I was inspired. Make it your own. Make it your way. Take my idea and maybe springboard that into yet another way of doing it. Anything is possible. Be creative, my friends, and enjoy your crafting time. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you'll come back and see me again tomorrow. Bye for now.